topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Are you ready to take a journey? Let's connect with the healers of the world. It's that time. It's time for the Language of Healing on W4WN Radio and Talk 4 TV. Now here's your host, Dr. Nicole Fortin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Language of Healing on W4WN.com. And this is where we talk about all things healing, because healing is a vast concept. We all can relate to it. And there are so many ways to heal and to treat what ails us. And today's conversation, I'm so excited about, because we have a very special guest talking a little bit about the seen versus the unseen and different states of matter. You know, what is concrete? Like, what about the opposite? The unseen and the space in between. And it might be woo-woo, but we love that space here. Bridging the gap between science and spirituality, and just being curious and living life in curiosity. And yeah, today's conversation is really around the message of don't hesitate to explore, be curious, step outside of your comfort zone, and, boldly go where no man has gone before. And so let's just bring on our guest today, Rita Cumming, photographer, artist, healer, educator, therapist. Hi, Rita.
Hi, Nicole. Nice to be here.
Yes, we were just talking before we came on how I love how both of our walls are a teal color, and I love the color teal because it is, well, I think it's a great and fun color that makes me feel inspired, but I love how it represents the heart chakra. It's a color, it's a mix between the green of the heart and the blue of the throat. And it's like an in between. And the spaces from our root up to our heart are very material like, and then from the throat up, it's a little bit more spiritual. So as a human, we're in this world navigating this, blending the spirit with the earth. And teal, to me, speaks to the bridge, which I think is what you are to me. Your work so beautifully embodies all these aspects into work. So, I'm just curious. Maybe there's so many things we can touch on today. I'll let you take lead, but I am interested to know how this all started for you. And what you do, and for our listeners that are just tuning in, don't know you, but a little origin story of Rita.
Well, I think I will just launch into how did I move from education to healing, because my first life was in education in multiple capacities. In the late 60s, I was doing my master's program at Western Washington State College, which is now Western Washington University. And I had somebody on a bicycle ergometer and electrodes on them. And am I also being seen by people as I talk, Nicole?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see you.
Because there's a resting rate. And then as you're exercising, the heart rate goes up. You stop, it drops slightly, and then it comes back down to rest eventually. And this person's on this riding, and the heart rate's up, and all of a sudden it plunges right below resting rate. And I sat and I watched. I looked at her, and everything was fine. And finally I said, Judy, and the rate went right back up. And then just the normal, it dropped when she stopped and returned to normal. So It was what is going on. This was totally unknown to me. And I asked my prof, she had no idea. And over the last, nobody has given me an answer. But I suspect it is into the world of meditation and pranayama, maybe into the core of the body.
So this is where so normally a typical response to the exercise would be to, be active and then dip down to a resting state. But this individual dipped down lower than a resting state.
Plunged right down, continuing the same degree.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So years go by. So that was the late 60s. In the late 70s, in 78, I'm writing curriculum at the Department of Education in the province of Manitoba. And I'm doing health education. And I'm reading research. And the study I'm reading is from Africa. And it's comparing modern medicine, mainstream medicine, to traditional medicine. And all of a sudden, I'm reading, they're comparing them, the benefits. And the conclusion of the study is that the mainstream medicine used in conjunction with the traditional medicine was more beneficial than either of the others individually.
Mm.
So that took me to, interestingly, at the time, to what am I doing here?
Yeah. What more could I be doing?
Bingo. And it basically led to me leaving education.
Uh-huh.
At that time, I thought of my grandmother, who had been a nurse, but also a herbalist. And then my mother had related an incident years before where she'd been at a doctor before she was married. And the doctor said, "Where are you staying?" And my mom said, "With the Cumming family." And his response is, "Good, you are with the best healer in town."
Mm.
So
Just when the community knew who to go to, right?
yes, from what I can gather, yes.
Yeah.
So again, this is a medical person making that comment.
Yeah. Mm.
So I'm leaving. We're jumping through. I'll go in 1982 when I'm living on Salt Spring Island in British Columbia. I did a workshop on healing energy healing. It was profound. Where could I find the training? I ran around with sheets of paper for years. I'd never seen anything like it. And goes on, but in between, I'm in Nepal trekking, and I have to go pick up my trekking permit and my passport again. And I go in and I sit down, and then telepathically I hear, "Why are you here?" And telepathically I hear myself responding to ground higher energies. I didn't know anything about it.
Mm.
Okay.
Surprise.
Pardon?
Surprise.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And then and the man had been down working on stuff, and he just lifted sorry, I should go back. I'm looking here. He's over on the desk working. And after I say ground higher energies, my head turns. His head is up. We lock eyes. He hands me my permit, and I leave.
This is all in the unheard space.
Nothing said other than
Yeah.
I just said
Or
thank
yeah.
you. It's
Telepathically. I actually believe that is a form of communication that is a skill we could evolve a little bit, or that we have forgotten.
and we're going to have to move more into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that
So
is
okay.
that is
So that gets you. Yes, you're into Nepal now,
okay.
trekking.
So then I'm coming back, and in 1992, I'm studying now in New Mexico at the Academy of Healing Arts in Santa Fe. And Damon, who's teaching the course, hands out some papers.
Mhm.
And I'm looking and I'm going, holy shoot, I've been looking for this for 10 years. It is the papers I was given at the workshop in 1982.
Yeah, what workshop was that? What were the papers?
Well, the workshop was in polarity. But it
Mm.
didn't mean anything to me at the time. All I knew is I loved what I had encountered. I had no idea where to go. It was a weekend workshop with people I didn't even really know, and it was so profound.
Well, what really sparked your interest in about that, or what resonated with you? What was the missing link for you? Or you like, what made you say this is what I've been looking for?
Because it was the same papers he handed out. Sorry, it was the identical papers I've been running around with for 10 years.
Oh, I see. This was your accumulated like research and notes and accumulated information, and this one matched exactly what you had been working with without even knowing.
In 1982, I was handed information, sheets of paper, and they were from
And
Dr.
what was
Stone's.
on those pages of paper?
Just some of the information I've handed out in the workshops
Mm.
that we've done. Images, and you'll be showing one, I believe, later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the energy body. It's a series related to the energy body, which is very much part of what polarity therapy is about, and I'll get into that.
Yeah.
And because I'm going to come back to one more thing, and then we can move. And then in November 1993, I did an internship at the Victoria Pain Clinic, and that's where I witnessed miracles. And I discovered two things. It was the profound effectiveness of multiple modalities being used. It wasn't just polarity therapy, let's say,
Yeah.
or acupuncture. The person in charge of the program was an acupuncturist, Dr. Michael Greenwood, and
Yeah.
also a medical doctor.
Yeah, legend, isn't he?
Okay, so you're familiar, yes. And he had people hyperventilating into the needles.
Right.
And in the hyperventilation, they were taken into deep spaces.
Yeah, I've seen him treat an old, like a motor vehicle accident, and he'll have somebody in the position where they, were in the accident, and that's when he needles somebody, and then you breathe, and it's like this great unwinding.
It was profound.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah, it's
And
great.
this was happening with person after person. This was a 10-day residential program. And I happened to be able to intern there. It was the first time they ever took two interns, and I was the second one. So I got in fortuitously. It's like, I call it the foot of divine intervention, that I was able to take part in this. So at the end of the 10 days, I watched people walking out pain-free. Not everybody, but the bulk of them, and those who weren't pain-free had substantially improved. And then I said there were two things. One was the multiple modalities, which I think is extremely important.
Yeah, I agree.
And the second was the effective polarity therapy. It was one simple move. One person he'd had a thumb nearly ripped off. And I had asked permission earlier if I could go from session to session with him when he went through. It was Heller work, and it was a variety of things. It was Heller work where I had the insight. So I accompanied him except to the counseling session. And there he was talking about his mother, and it was grief. It was grief.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went
on the thumb, the lung channel.
Okay, for that, yes, you see, and this is wonderful, because here's
Yes.
one acupuncturist, the lung channel.
Yes, which is like relates to lung, is the grief, is like holds the grief.
And for polarity, it is ether, the throat.
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, same thing. Yeah.
And it's associated with grief.
Yes.
And so when I went back in with him and we went to acupuncture, and I just said to Michael, would you mind if we do this simple hold from polarity therapy?
Mm.
And we did. And everything just blew open.
Wow.
And so the multiple modalities was a factor, because he came from Heller work. He was doing all this other work, but the one that just adding the polarity added the piece that just tipped it over. And the thumb work, and I'll just share with this, it's what we call a triad. And when I teach the ether triad, it's the sternoclavicular joint, or the ear to the thumb, and the thumb to the great toe on the right side. And then you go over to the left side, you make the same connections. It's that simple. And that was the only polarity that I did in actual sessions, because I was there as an intern,
Right.
not as one of the practitioners. And so, where do we go from here?
Well, maybe some people who've never heard of polarity therapy might be curious. If you are a practitioner or someone in, the healthcare profession, polarity therapy is something to check out. And Rita Cumming does teach this modality, so you can always reach out to Rita to find out more. But maybe we explore a little bit about what that is.
Yes,
A quick, a little quick, intro to that, to know what we're talking about.
Okay, and the work that I teach, and I call it healing connections, and I've used that term since I started teaching this in 2011. And it's the interface between the energy body and the physical body. Or one could call it the healing connection.
Right.
And that connection really entails the etheric body and energy body, and we'll get more into this later too, which surrounds and interpenetrates the physical body, as does the fascia.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm coming to the conclusion that that interconnection occurs at the level of the fascia.
Right. Fascia is a fascinating substance. Actually, more and more is coming out about that, because it is like the bridge between the two, the physicality and the energetic.
Yes. And the chakras enter into this, because they're within and outside the body. They are there. They're part of that whole energy system. And with polarity, we deal primarily, it has been dealing with the crown, with the third eye, the throat, and the body chakras down through the heart, solar plexus, second, and the root chakra. But in polarity, it is regarded that it's centered in the third eye area, and it drops to the throat. And then out of the throat arise the other chakras of air, fire, water, and earth. And I will just add here, subsequent work that I have done would seem to indicate the eighth chakra, which is behind the back of the head, called the bindu, seems to be related to this. And this is getting into more advanced material. And that it flows to the third eye, which is then that dropping to the throat, which opens up. This is in the polarity concept, then opens up to the lower chakras, the elemental chakras. And as an aside, there's 88,000 chakras, or any energy centers.
Wow, it's a lot.
Okay, and
Yeah, because we have the main ones, and then there's a lot of little sub ones, like, we've got them all over.
yeah, yeah. And then I imagine, I think you people you in acupuncture deal with the marmot points, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm,
Okay,
yes.
and that is, if I have it correct, that's where a confluence of nerves and blood vessels
Right.
and so Indian head massage, which I also do, polarity and Indian head also both come out of the Ayurvedic tradition. And polarity comes out of others as well. So when I work with Indian head, I'm also dealing with marmot points. With the polarity, the work tends to be more with the chakras in the energetic sense. And when you're working on somebody, you are touching the energy, the physical body on the basis of the energy anatomy.
Mm,
Okay. And we're working with that, these subtle energy bodies. And there's a mass of different patterns that we do run. But the contact is on the physical body, but the intention is to run the energy.
right.
And
Well, I'm always brought to this, I guess, fact that, our, like, the molecule is like, just 1% matter, or an atom, 1% matter, 99% space. Like, what makes our physicality any different than that? There must be, like, mass energy coming,
yes,
in and around and through us.
yes, there is. By the way, do you have, I'm going to back us up, Nicole, for a moment. You've had Willie's energy body up, have you? The image?
Oh, yes. I think that was number 1 and
Or-
1A. We have 2 of those related.
Now, I'm going to back up a bit because some stuff that Albert Einstein said, you have that image there?
Yes. You have the numbers. I think that was a 3.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, you go on. You go on and I'll organize this for.
We're okay because this is really important in all of this. And
Yeah.
he said one time, everything in life is vibration. Is matter, is energy. Light, energy, light, whose vibration has been so lowered to be perceptible to the senses. There is no matter.
There is no matter. And what I love about that too, because that ties into Chinese medicine and the concept of qi. And qi is, we're always constantly balancing yin, yang, qi, blood. It's like masculine, feminine. It is polarity. Literally, it is the polar opposites, right? And they can't exist without each other. So naturally, polarity therapy is about, union anyways. Qi represents the bottom character is rice and the top character is steam. So it's representing that chi is both material and immaterial. It's like all states of materiality. Like, things can be material and immaterial, seen and unseen. Sorry, tangent.
No, it's important.
But anyway,
Because the whole thing it's all so interrelated.
yeah. So like all these people, that was slide 2, I think, with Einstein's quote. If we could I guess maybe pull that up because
Which one's
we
that?
can just. That was on the list you shared with.
We're okay.
Anyway, we are okay. It's fine.
We're
But
okay.
so there's that. So we can see that in many ways of becoming to the same realization. So you have to see, oh, there's got to be something there, or this, repeatedly showing in clinical experience, clinical practice that, hey, there's actually something more going on here. I wonder what that is.
There's so much more going on.
Yeah. I love this photo of Willie though, if we can go back to that. I think that's pictures 1 and 1A. And we'll put them up here. Okay, there's the one.
This one's critically important.
Yeah.
I want to make the point. This is a real person.
Yes.
This is somebody I knew very well. She was a healer. This picture was taken by her sister when she was at the Vatican, which, is probably an absolutely superb place to have it. And in the whole picture taken, there's all these physical bodies, and there is sitting Willie's image in the energy form.
So she's standing there, and her sister's taking a photo of her in front of the Vatican, and this is what comes out in
This is what
the
she
print.
brought. And I was in Winnipeg, and I was dropped by somebody's place, and a friend took me and said, "I want to show you a picture of Willie." And I went in, I went, "Holy crap." Excuse me, but it really,
Now it's goosebumps.
that's her energy body. And she didn't understand, and I was so excited. A couple of things about it, because it occurred to me the other day. If you look in behind, it's whitish. And when I was on Salt Spring Island, sleeping outside at my place, I lived up on a hilltop, sleeping on the deck. And one night I went to bed, and I looked, and I had no hand other than a white. My whole hand was just white. There was energy. That's all I was looking at.
Oh.
And then I just went to sleep. So obviously, someplace else, I was somewhat familiar with this. I had to. And I
Mhm.
looked, and when I was looking at Willie's image, I'm looking and thinking, that's the same white color I saw on my hand. And that just hit me yesterday, because I've
Oh.
always focused on the energy field around her. Because if you look with care, you see the swirling energies.
Yeah, I mean, even on the top of that, it's like coming up from her head, like,
Actually, that is a distortion, I believe,
oh,
from the building. I've looked at
okay.
that more than once, okay? And that
Yeah.
seems to be just part of the architecture, just to clarify that. But
Yes, but there's almost like a little ring, like a circle around her upper torso. I don't know. There's a lot
yes,
of,
well, yeah, and if you, yes, because I'm
yeah.
looking at it too. Yeah.
Maybe that could be like the toroidal field of the heart, you know? It's like a little don't, who knows?
It's a torus.
But you,
If you get down to it, you're looking at a torus. It's basically, in a sense, a donut,
yes.
and
So
she's coming up the middle of it.
it's magnificent. That's like a really great photo. I mean, it's perfect. It's a cool capture. And you made a note too that in this world of AI, this is a very authentic image. There's also, oh, maybe we could show the reference point, the 1A with the bigger
Yes.
um, state of the value. Yes. I mean, that's like majestic right there. Look at that. Yeah, because you can see the other people standing there, physical. I've never seen that before in a photo. So what was this shot with? And when was this taken?
From what I can make out, the early 90s. It was not digital. It's a single lens reflex camera. And obviously, the sister didn't see it until she got home.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yes, fascinating. So this really represents that, yeah, we do have that energetic body and light body, and we are working with that. Did you want to get into any of the other energetic energetics of the polarity therapy around that?
The one thing I wouldn't mind doing is reading the material about Dr. Stone.
Okay.
Comment, and you have an image to go with that, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. It's okay.
Yeah, Dr. Stone's image is the longer one, 3A. We'll pop that up here.
Okay.
Because yeah, maybe we can introduce Dr. Stone, founder of polarity therapy and
Or do you want to use 3B without the words? Because I'm
oh,
going to
3B. Okay, let's do that. Switch it out. Here we go. Thank you, Juan. Amazing. Look at our fantastic tech behind the scenes. This that we are the scene and he's the unseen.
yes, bless him. The unseen is invaluable in our lives, and we'll get more into that in a bit. Anyway, I am going to read what Dr. Stone said. Energy is the real substance behind the appearance of matter and form. It is only energy and matter that makes matter seem alive. When this energy escapes, only the shell is left.
Hmm.
A cure constitutes reaching the life current within and reestablishing the free flow of energy. Energy itself has intelligence, which must have a direction of flow or a way to go, or it defeats itself in useless expenditure and destruction. Every energy block in mind and as an emotion and in matter is an obstacle which often necessitates eruptions of a volcanic type in nature and disease in man, beast, or in vegetation. In such conditions, the norm of the mental pattern of energy flow in form and use has been interrupted and must right itself. The wise man, I will say person, the wise person and physician looks for the cause and assists nature in balancing this directional energy circuit back to its norm, physically, mentally, emotionally. We know so much about disease, but nothing about health. Don't treat disease, treat the individual, find where the energy is blocked.
Hmm. That really resonates with me too, with acupuncture, Chinese medicine background, because it is. I always say, where there is flow, there is no pain. So it's all about finding where the energy is blocked. Okay, what else? Any other notes you have about Dr. Stone here?
Well, I'm not sure how much I want to add about that. How is our time, Nicole? Because we also have something else we were looking at.
All right. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
no, I will do a couple more things on Dr. Stone. Um, I'm just thinking how much we've gone through on this.
Yeah. Whatever you feel inspired to talk about. There's endless things, really.
Well, because there's so much.
Yes.
There's so very much. I was going to just comment that polarity is based, as I think all healing modalities, that we're talking about a source. There's many words used. Some people
Okay.
use God. But there's multiple words that are used, and that source has broken down into, and it's
I think we could get rid of that
yeah.
image now. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, that's probably good.
Hmm.
Okay, the source is unity. It's one. It's oneness is the word used. And in polarity, talk about breaking it down into positive, negative. I prefer that to male, female, because that gets carried all caught up.
Hmm.
Yin
Sure.
yang, and energy. So you have from the source the core that flows through the body, cerebral spinal fluid, call
Right.
whatever you wish, going
Even
through.
like the caduceus represents that. It's
Yes,
the symbol of the caduceus.
the
The
caduceus.
blending of two lines, at least, if anything, forming
Right.
one.
So you have the core down, and then you have, once you've gone into the duality, you've got the in and out, and then the return up.
Hmm.
And the caduceus leads into something that we call the ovals in polarity. And something we're going to get into in a bit is the ovals, according to some material I've been reading, would appear to be, it's called New Science of Heaven,
Oh,
uh,
yes.
would appear to be voids.
Voids.
There's a void aspect to it. And from my
Yes.
perspective, I love going into a void.
The unknown.
Yes.
The unknowable.
Yes. No, but not the unknown. We'll get into that, the unknown.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
reason for that. But I find for me, I encountered my first void when I was in grade 12, ironically, and I returned to voids. It's and I ran into it, it's the end of something and the beginning of something. And
Okay.
for me, voids are a gift. But this is beyond anything about ovals.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel yeah. Okay,
But
go
also,
on.
sorry, in polarity, also, we talk about the step down of energy. So you have the source, you come into the duality. But as energy steps down, you come into the mental, and we talk about mental bodies, and we talk about a transverse current. And these are just quick overviews. And basically, it is a planning stage of entering life as a human being, as a being. And from that planning stage, the mental steps into the emotional, which is a combination, I voice it, emotional being, feelings, and then motion, also vitality, the vitalization. And that's giving energy to the idea that was on the mental field. We're now moving down. And then eventually it arrives down to the manifestation.
Yeah, the
And,
manifestation of physicality,
and
physical
physicality.
body.
Okay, yes. And I want to come back to, sorry, because I slipped up on something. When we're at the mental stage, the energies are the transverse, side to side. And I have found, and I make a strong point of this, the transverse comes to the core and back out. And I wake to them every morning. So this is an area I've been dealing with now for months spontaneously. And it comes down from the mental to the emotional, and that is front back energy. It's called spiral energy. And at the early stages, I'm going to say I sense on coming in the involutionary entering physicality, it's a lot of emotional component. But when we begin to return to spirit, we come down into the physicality, and in time we return to spirit, either in transition to the other side of life, as I call it, or we return to spirit to enter the world of higher energies, which we will bring through our being to offer to the earth as an agent to the source, in a sense.
Hmm.
So we ourselves also become higher beings.
Well, that's part of the evolution, isn't
Yes,
it?
yes, that's the evolution.
Or the remembering. I love that term
Yes,
about it's more about remembering than but I do believe we do evolve and grow,
I
right?
think, yes, I couldn't agree more. And
Yes.
we're going to come back down now. So we've come down into the physicality. And that's where we enter the world of, I just want to check because this is so complex. This is where we work with the chakras, we work with the construction of the physicality, the body. We don't, the energy does. We are created. And I will use the word creation. We're created by the energies that are flowing in, and the chakras and the what are called triads and the oval fields are important in that process. But we also, so just as we have this, we step down, as we were talking, we return back to spirit. And that spirit is either, as I said, we transition to the other side of life.
Would you say that when we come into this world, we are, spirit born into this physicality, and then it's like a, I don't know, roller coaster or one of those swings. Like we go to
That's,
one extreme and then we come back and then we finish.
that's about it, you know. That really is about it. And I don't know how many people have, say, been with somebody who's passed, which is a blessing. I mean, I've been with
Uh,
a number of people, and I'm going to use one as an example because it was really very different than anybody else. Most passings I find are very peaceful. Energy slips out. It's lovely to be with somebody who passes. I've been with both my aunt, my mom, and it was wonderful. But I was with a friend's mom who'd had metastasis of breast cancer and had brain cancer. And there was a point where we were all together, and I was sitting holding her head. And then I had left, I think, to go to the washroom, which was again the foot of divine intervention. And when I came back in, Tracy was sitting with her ma at the top, and I went down to her feet. And I took little toe, second, third, fourth, and then I took the great toes. And the energy was massive. And then it's gone. Which is part of that whole process of when we, and I use the word other side of life because I do believe in the continuity of life.
You mean it was gone, like she had passed?
She passed, and her
Yeah. When you got to her great,
when I hit the great toe, which is the ether, the core, up through and out,
Mm.
wherever she.
that's a smooth passage for her. You know, what a way to, yeah, have some kind of balance or guidance, you know, on the
Yeah.
next voyage. I actually wore this shirt. Sorry, it's side tangent, but this was shirt. It says Voyager on it, and I just felt like wearing a shirt that said Voyager, because aren't we all voyaging and navigating this world? You know, the darkness and the light, and so many aspects to it. I really enjoy your perspective on health and healing, and then the fact that you can also combine it with your experience, and you're such a great teacher. We have 5 minutes left, Rita. What else would you like to share?
Another one is the blue bars.
Yes. Okay, do we have an image for that?
You have it, yes. It's number 2. I don't know what number it is.
No, it's not number 2. It's the blue bars. Oh, number 6.
Okay.
The blue code. Yes, please enlighten us about this.
Okay, I was camping with a friend, and I took a photo, like the Willie photo, brought it home, downloaded it on my computer, and there were blue bars superimposed on the rocks, on the
Okay.
rocks, and I couldn't believe what I was looking at. And that has led me to, that was 2007, and I still see the blue bars. This took me to all my inner journeying. This is the unseen. The blue bars are my teachers.
Mm.
They're my
So
guides.
there, okay, well, we'll see an image here soon, but so you are a photographer just by, you know, interest. You just see these aspects of nature and know how to capture these moments. You have
I
a gift of,
don't see it.
yeah,
I'm
well, that's the thing, is you have a gift actually of catching the unseen. You are the bridge between the seen. So you're telling me these bars here, these blue bars that are, you know, quite parallel to each other in line, they just appeared on your image. To me, I can almost see like a blue haziness in between them.
well, there's a portal.
Oh,
There's a portal. And
fascinating. What drew you to this rock to take a photo of it?
I was going through the sacred area of Writing on Stone Provincial Park, and there was something pulled me away. There was a wonderful petroglyph near it, and the Indigenous woman said, "Did you see something?" I said, "No, I sensed something." I went back. I took the photo, and then when I got home, I found out what it was, and I went back and talked to them. I met them again before I shared this with anybody, with the Indigenous people at the park. But there is a portal. 2009 in the early morning, I went through the portal. And that was the beginning of all these years. The blue bars are with me all the time. They are my teachers. They are my protectors. They're my guides. I have been taken into all massive journeys into the earth with the fish swimming. Been through many aspects of Earth. I've been back through the historical aspects of Earth's progress. I have gone through portal out to space. But one time I said, "Oh, goody!" And what I heard, I very seldom hear a voice. Everything's visual. Was, "You don't go anywhere without us taking you." And that becomes critically important because I think of Carlos Castaneda. Have you heard of him with the Dawn series? Something he said. We have the known, we have the unknown, and we have the unknowable. I was taken.
The known, unknown, and the unknowable.
And I was taken to the unknown. I have seen the entrance where I have to open it to go, and I choose not to. That is the unknowable. The unknowable is fraught with dangers. And I would not go near it. And now,
fascinating.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you can finish your. I hate that we have to wrap up with this fascinating topic because it's so much more to explore.
Well, it's so much more, and this is where I think put the book up. A book that.
Oh yes, that's number 7, slide 7. Yes, this book.
A New Science of Heaven. This book is absolutely profound. This talks about plasmas, which scientists have discovered. And it's intelligent. It learns, it can teach. And I'm beginning to wonder if, in fact, the etheric body is plasmas.
Well, the etheric body is like a blueprint of our energetic physicality. Yes.
Did I say
Rita?
Did I say blue or etheric? I said etheric, didn't I?
Etheric.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so we'll have to come back, Rita. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Actually, I would love to if there was the opportunity.
Yes, let's do part 2.
Because your game?
Pardon?
Your game?
Yeah, of course I'm game. Are you kidding me?
So this is wonderful.
I'm going to keep showing up as long as you're teaching. Okay, yes.
And then we're going to be working together at some point.
Yeah, of course. That would be great. I would love that. Because it is the bridge, there's so many things that are unexplainable and explainable, and I'm just fascinated by and curious by this realm, as are you. And I see your inner adventurer, your adventurous spirit, and I love that about you, because life is an adventure. It is about having fun and learning and growing. So Rita, thank you so much for joining us, and everyone tuning in. Thank you. If you have any questions about Rita or her work, just contact myself or Rita, and we'd love to chat. So till next time, see us then. See you next week.
This has been immense fun. Thank you for inviting me, Nicole.
Oh, thank you, Rita. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.
Wow, what a show today. And the journey does not stop here. Come travel the world with Nicole every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as together we become more fluent in the language of healing on W4WN Radio and Talk4 TV. See you next week.